Future plans and backstage reaction coming up for Bray Wyatt's return. Plus, a Raw star has dropped the gimmick and changed the name. And a major star has been confirmed for next week's episode of Raw as well. All in the wrestling news right now. Don't know whether you've heard, Ross, but Bray Wyatt's back.
Who?
Bray Wyatt.
Where?
On SmackDown.
Correct.
That's where he lives now.
Yeah.
And here's a question for you. Where do you think, before we read this story, would you say that Bray Wyatt is stronger as a babyface or a heel face?
I think he is stronger as both.
Oh.
I feel like Liz Truss looking down the camera like that. Anyway, I think he can do both sides. Heel and
Liz Truss
babyface.
should be leaving about now.
Very well indeed. Hey, there's a total eclipse going on outside right now.
Oh,
you seen that in the news? We're going to miss it because we're sat in here with no windows.
Oh, get Bonnie Tyler on the line immediately.
Total eclipse of Liz Truss. Right. I think he's fantastic. Heel or babyface, Tom. It could be the top of the pile at either side of the tracks. What do you say?
Well, I personally think that Bray Wyatt, as a character, away from fan reaction and fan sentiment, is always better as a heel. As the baddie, personally, I do. I feel like when he was a babyface, it wasn't the light was somewhat dulled.
But he did that cool thing with the gun, and then Roman Reigns did the spear, and he did the gun, and pop caps and all of our asses.
Oh, there was that. Caps have been popped, and PW Insider have given us an update on Bray Wyatt's situation backstage at SmackDown. He is listed as the #1 babyface on SmackDown following his return at Extreme Rules. He has had one promo in front of the camera in the ring and one promo behind the scenes.
Howdy.
Top babyface.
Howdy. Well, it's clear what's going to happen, isn't it? This Howdy character, who might be a puppet, I'm not too sure. He had a very faked-looking face on the little brief bit we saw on SmackDown on Friday. It looks like he's going to control Bray Wyatt and make him do things he doesn't want to do, but in turn, things that he's going to quite enjoy doing because he's a sick bastard.
So maybe, I mean, you could have some real fun. You could have some real fun in having him be both.
Yep, definitely.
You know?
Confliction.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Bit of cake on the side. Oh, I shouldn't do it. Oh, but I'm going to do it. Just that sort of vibe, you know?
That thing when you really, think, oh, there's that cake, I should have that cake. And instead you punch a good guy in the face.
Yes.
That. Now, WWE behind the scenes you'll be surprised to hear, reportedly thrilled with Bray Wyatt's return, from the promo stuff to the White Rabbit QR code stuff. Incidentally, this sort of thing, not the White Rabbit bit per se, but this sort of QR code, follow the trail type story, it's a snake, has been pitched multiple times over the years in WWE, and Vince wasn't having it.
I wonder why.
Have you heard that hip-hop and happening tune? Great Balls of Fire. Oh, it's top of the charts. Oh, I love it.
No one knows what a QR code is.
I've got to wind up radio.
Let me send this message on my page. Yeah. Now,
Silly old man.
As well. So obviously now that the regime has changed, they're giving this a go. Shock horror drama. It's really bloody good. Not only are the people who make the creative decisions very happy, the financial decision makers are very happy as well, aren't they?
Are they?
Yes, they are. So Bray Wyatt's merch, #1 selling on WWE.
I was wondering where you got that from. It's not on there. I was like,
yeah. It's there. The merchandise sellers in WWE are delighted. He's the top seller, with more merch coming, including, and I'm gobsmacked they've not done this already, Ross, Firefly Funhouse plushies.
Plushies. You used to be able to get the puppets. I remember seeing the Vince McMahon one. That was a big seller way back in day. I say way back in day, about 2 years ago. But yeah, it's good that Bray Wyatt is not only being creative and giving us a wrestling gimmick we can sink our teeth into just on the weekly, but also he can sink his teeth into a lot of money by selling lots of things off the back of this gimmick.
Lovely chewy money.
Uncle Howdy plushie coming soon, I would imagine.
Howdy. We might meet Uncle Howdy on Friday on SmackDown, but lots of good stuff from Bray Wyatt. Top babyface on SmackDown, top merch seller. Everybody loves him. What a nice story to start the day. Let's go through a few bits from Monday night. Rhea Ripley was trending last night. She's done it again.
Nothing to do with Dominic Mysterio this time, which we can all just thank our happy socks for. But this time, Rhea Ripley has picked up a very large man and scoop slammed that son of a bitch on the floor around the ringside area. There was a bit of a hoo-ha between the Judgment Day and the OC, as there has been for the past couple of weeks. And then Rhea Ripley just basically said, "Hello there, Luke Gallows. You're a large fellow. I'll pick you up and slam you on the floor." And that's exactly what she did, with minimum effort.
Yeah.
Just went, see you later.
Phenomenal. Great.
He's 6'6", is he? Something
He's
like
a
that?
beast of a boy.
300 pounds, something like that?
It's all right, because he said backstage that body slams are his love language, so that's fine.
Oh, not him as well. Dominic Mysterio bleaches everybody's mind.
I think it's Rhea Ripley who has that effect on people. We know that Rhea Ripley genuinely does enjoy a bit of Cultaholic, so good morning, Rhea.
Hello, Rhea.
I'm currently making
Scoop slam me, mammy.
Funny you say that. I'm making a list. I'll put my name down. Do you want to be on the Scoop Slam list?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you some sort of pimp?
Well, no. But I'm just going to send this off to WWE, and anybody wants to get Scoop Slammed by Rhea.
Fair.
I think there's money in it. To be honest with you, I'll put your name down as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. I'll add Jack later as well. Trending on Twitter. Oh, a lot of comparisons made to China with Rhea Ripley because of and calls for her to win men's titles and wrestle more intergender matches. Yeah, if anyone's going to spearhead that, it's going to be Rhea Ripley.
God, you think about when with all due respect, when Nia Jax was getting involved in the latter stages of that Rumble a few years ago, the pops that were had with Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. Imagine Rhea Ripley in that sort of situation as well. Just do it, man. It's not even real. It's not even real, this wrestling. Just get it done in there. Intergender stuff. Here we go. They
do tease as well in the segment afterwards. There's a little hint that maybe the OC are going to get themselves some backup to counteract Rhea Ripley in their war with the Judgment Day.
It can only be Raquel, surely. No one else can stand up to Rhea Ripley, can they?
Yeah, Gonzalez would be a great shout for that one. This comes as Carl Anderson is still slated to defend his never openweight title against Hikuleo on the same night as Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia.
Haven't they just basically said, the money's in Saudi Arabia, we're not going to be at the New Japan show? Sorry.
They have, but then the New Japan president has gone, all the champs will be there or else.
Half of Carl Anderson will be in Saudi Arabia. Half of Carl Anderson will be wherever this show is going to be.
All of one particular wrestler of Raw got a name and gimmick change last night, didn't they?
Fantastic. We're seeing a match between Bianca Belair and Bayley with it in the closing stretches. Bianca Belair's doing all this sort of offense on the announce table at ringside on the apron. Bayley's just hanging on. She's hanging on. She's hanging on. Then out of nowhere, who's that jumping out the sky? It's Nikki Ash, not Rey Mysterio. And she just wipes out the referee, Bianca and Bayley. I think Io Sky might be involved as well. Then we get a bit in the ring, which leads to Nikki SH, or whatever what's she called now? We haven't learned this, have we?
Well, they did because it was said on commentary as she's attacking her. Kevin Patrick goes, "That's Nikki Cross."
Oh, is that after he went, "Who's that?" And then Corey's like, "It's Nikki Cross." And he's like, "Who's that?" It's Nikki Cross. Kevin, you know it's Nikki Cross. It was a fantastic moment. But yeah, Nikki Cross basically costs Bianca Belair. Bayley gets the big win, and Nikki Cross is back just looking like a normal lady, not a superhero.
And dominant as well, as a title credit in the corner appeared. The last thing we see is Nikki Cross. You love to see it.
Volume in the hair was my main takeaway.
Oh, a lot of volume in that hair.
Jesus, wonderful stuff.
This Salon Selectives,
but
Nikki
also,
Cross.
It's good that, the superhero, while at the start it had very good prospects and whatnot, we also were trying to go with the gimmick. It wasn't landing, was it, by this point? So it's good that they've gone back. Well, not even gone back to what she was, because I don't think it's full sanity Nikki Cross, because she was dressed like a lady would do walking down the street in London or something like that. Not hanging out at these sort of ravey clubs.
She kind of had a bit between the sanity and ASH, where it was a very generic Nikki Cross type character.
The Southern Sassy Belle.
Yeah, the Southern
Sassy. She had
Sassy
that theme that didn't fit a character at all. It was Lacey Evans' theme, but Nikki SH had it for some reason, yeah.
The Southern Sassy Belle from Scotland, which you can't get. You couldn't be South if you tried. Also last night on Raw, the absence of a particular Raw star was explained at last. We've been wondering where Ciampa's been, haven't we?
He's basically been injured.
Basically,
That's all we've got to say there. We don't know what the injury is, undisclosed, but Johnny Gargano basically just said he's injured.
Yeah, and because they did a whole thing where Miz was asking people, "Have you seen Ciampa? My bestest friend Ciampa, where is he?" And Gargano's like, "Mate, I just rag him, he's injured."
Very conspicuous, I would say, because last week on Raw, we're hearing Gargano say to the Miz, "You will tell the truth one day, the truth will set you free," and all that sort of stuff. And Ciampa, could he bleed into this truth? What's been going on there? Some sort of insurance scam? And with Loomis and Ciampa, maybe? Trying to get the Miz's millions? That Miz and Mrs. money? I don't know.
Well, they involved our Truth in all of this as well, which was nice to see. And we had, Truth came out going, "Oh, I heard you had to tell the truth." Well, I'm here. So what I like, and I'll give this a little nod, because it was a pared back version of Silly R-Truth. He was still a bit silly, but he wasn't like out in the space, out in the atmosphere type silly. It was a more pared back version of Truth, and then he had a fun little match against The Miz.
And he spark up a tab.
almost NWA R-Truth killings, but not that bad. But no, nice to see that as well. We'll end on this major stuff for next week Raw. 1 week, the go home for Crown Jewel, the Halloween Raw. It's going to be Brock Lesnar, isn't it?
Yeah, he's coming to Dallas because he is a cowboy with a cowboy's hat. Of course, he's taking on Bobby Lashley in Saudi Arabia. They had a big brawl on last week's Raw that was split up by many men who were smaller than both Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, which was fantastic. Bobby Lashley, like the hardest man in the world on last week's Raw, and they tried to go through the table the first time, it didn't work, and he just picked up Brock Lesnar and splattered him through the table. Just like that. Just like Rhea Ripley picking up Luke Gallows.
Just whoop. Blop him through.
Whoop
Down
more
you
time.
go, whop him all the way through. So Brock on the Dallas episode of Raw, as you say, the cowboy Brock Lesnar, is he going to come out to the Dallas theme tune riding a horse?
Yes, and he will rename himself JR Lesnar.
By God. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Not Jim Ross, by the way. I meant this is Dallas.
I know. I know you did. But it's nice that there's two JRs.
I can see them, but he's from Oklahoma, Ross. This is Dallas.
Or was it all a dream?
It's Dallas. How did this do? Where's your list gone? Rhea Ripley, come on down.
Love you, bye.